Why Yandere Simulator? Why is that the comparison you made?
I was like clenching my ass cheeks hoping that you didn't say this.
You enjoyed Romeo and Juliet more than Hamlet?
Sarah J. Maas fun.
My brain is like racing now.
Oh no, Alex.
Good job, me. I really don't know how to speak.
Oh God! Can't do this. This is my guilty boner. Family listens to these. Never mind.
Don't you me?
We totally believe you, Dean.
That's still bigger than a city.
It's more than one planet.
Hi friends. Welcome back to the InkGuild Podcast. My name is Dean, joined today by Gabe.
Hey.
And we've got two new voices to hear from today. So we've got Georgia.
Yo.
And Madi. Madi, this is where you say hi.
Did it not go through? Oh. I said, hey.
Well, there's your introduction. So tonight we're going to be talking about storytelling guilty pleasures. And for such a broad topic, we're deciding... So I'm going to lay down a few ground rules. So basically, we're talking about is really any kind of like trope, cliche, character archetype or something that is so common and almost kind of annoying in a way, but deep down we really kind of enjoy it. Like as much as we can find fault in it, we secretly still like watching it on like in anime, movies, TV shows, video games, whatever. So let's actually get into our picks, like our formal picks. And my first one is the powerful artifacts trope, or at least the powerful MacGuffin, basically. And you see, so when I say powerful artifact, I mean powerful weapons, powerful tools, very convenient things that help move the plot along, basically. And that's been so common across like everything. Like you'll see a powerful artifact in almost every single fantasy story where the party is going after this one weapon that will end the war or something, and you will, and it's the source of everyone's interest, basically. Like you're all fighting to get this thing. And like while the MacGuffin itself is not actually my guilty pleasure, because I have my own opinions on that, but yeah, I love the notion of powerful artifacts. And I'll actually talk about powerful weapons for a minute, because powerful weapons always pique my interest because they always just look so fucking cool. Or at least
Like Sword of Gryffindor.
Yeah, basically. So like you have the Elder Wand from Harry Potter. That looks really cool, and it's supposed to be a powerful weapon. Or at least you have the 3 Deathly Hallows in general. Those are like very powerful artifacts or powerful weapons that that a good majority of the story is focused on. Like there's so much lore behind it, and there's a lot of ramifications that come with using them, and I loved learning about it. In the Throne of Glass series, which is unfortunate that Alex is not a part of tonight, but I love Goldrin, which is Aelin's sword. I'm probably confusing it, but like Goldrin has been like a family heirloom, so like there's a lot of sentimental value behind it, and it's a very powerful weapon when Aelin is using it. I guess other things too, like powerful weapons really do, or like the reason why I say it's a guilty pleasure is because powerful weapons, especially when they're very overpowered, like is a very understandable trope to hate, because then it's just like writing in magic. You can basically like write yourself out of any situation, right? But at the same time, like my sole exception for powerful weapons is because I don't know, I think just design wise it looks amazing. Like the people that have utilized or that have put time into designing this badass sword or gun or something, like it just gets me. It's even like you can even attribute powerful weapons to some of the most famous characters in existence, right? Like for Star Wars, for example, you have Chewie's Chewie's crossbow, I guess. Like, that shit don't miss. And it's good. It fucking works. It kills everyone in its way. There's obviously, and going on Star Wars, right? Like, they're the lightsabers that are like very powerful weapons and are so tied to that franchise. Going into Lord of the Rings, you have Sting, you have Gandalf's staff, you have you have the One Ring, obviously, that dictates so much possibility in terms of either destroying the world or saving it, and it hooks me in almost every single time. Like, I am a sucker whenever a powerful weapon is in use, because then it just changes the entire dynamic of the story for like a second, because then I don't know, I guess it just puts me in the headspace that whoever's using it could end the world right then and there, or maybe save the world right then and there. And it's that kind of bout where it's like, do they do it though? Obviously, I know they won't because plot and shit, but like, it's fascinating to me. Let's move on then to Gabe's first official pick then. So what would be your first storytelling guilty pleasure?
I gotta tell you, Dean, when you were leading up to what your first guilty pleasure was, I was like clenching my ass cheeks, hoping that you didn't say this so that I could talk about it. So anyone who's listened to this podcast before or has met me knows that I am a big fan of shonen anime. And in shonen anime, there's one trope that is in all of them, and it's amazing every time, and that's tournament arcs.
Oh my god!
Tournament arcs.
Yo!
Tournament arcs are the best fucking thing that has ever happened in fiction. I will scream every time a new shonen anime is coming out, because I know that at some point there's gonna be a fucking tournament arc, and there always is, and it's always amazing. For those listening who are unaware of what a tournament arc is, all right, so shonen,
let me in.
Right, okay, so tournament arcs are essentially a fucking breakdown of all narrative walls where the writers just go like, hey, we've created a series where the premise is that people are watching it to watch these crazy superpowered characters get into fights. So what if we axed away all narrative pretense and just said, hey, these characters are gonna fight in a fucking tournament, just episode after episode of just fighting in these crazy,
I'll be right back, guys,
free-for-all battles. Oh, should I not stop screaming, or should I keep screaming while you're gone? I'll keep screaming.
Keep going. I'm enjoying it.
Okay, so what you have with tournament arcs is this beautiful cohesion of destroying rules and also this weird narrative beauty where you have all your characters who you've grown to be familiar with. That's the thing with shonen. It is that they have this huge ensemble cast of characters. You have basically every single trope you can imagine of a character. That's a single character in this series, and they got all of them, and they put all of them together. They say put all of them in a big stadium. We'll put a big bracket, and then we'll just have 16 or 24 or 30 episodes straight of just these characters fighting each other one after another. It's great. You can have all sorts of shit happening. You can have all sorts of dynamics happening. You can have characters fighting their own love interests. You can have rivals who get to finally compete one-on-one after like vaguely smirking at each other and vaguely trying to one-up each other. Now they can just duke it out with each other. You can have villain characters who have been like lurking in the shadows just enter this tournament because they want to win, and they can step in. It's like a low stakes battle with a villain early on. Or you can have new characters who show up and you've never seen them before, but they have a whole other interesting motivation for wanting to win the tournament, and the hero has to fight them, and it's fucking great every time. The best example is My Hero Academia. I will die on that hill. Yeah. I know Dragon Ball fans will murder me for saying that, but the best example is My Hero Academia. When that shit had a tournament arc, that shit was so fucking good.
Did you take a breath at all?
I took a breath when you left to ask if I could keep
Very
screaming,
cute.
but then I just kept going.
Oh, okay.
Listen,
So wait, are they aware that it's like a tournament? Like they're aware that they're fighting.
oh yeah, usually in
Okay.
the in the story, there's a literal stadium and a literal like announcer and a literal bracket that
No
will show up
way.
on the.
And this is just like happens all the time in anime.
Oh yeah, it
Yeah.
happens constantly. It's wonderful. It's fantastic. They'll literally have the brackets show up on the screen like after each fight to show who's fucking going ahead. It's
Yeah.
amazing.
Sweet.
It's so sweet. It's more prominent in shonen anime than anything, but like yeah,
It does show up in some other animes, but it's most typical for shonen anime because shonen animes got those big ensemble casts and they got that like crazy fight scene budget. That's the other best part because animes have like wonky budgeting issues. But whenever a season's got a tournament arc in it, they dump all their fucking budget into that tournament arc, and it's glorious. I've seen so many tournament arc fight scenes just be taken out and used as like music video background.
Oh my god, yeah, don't even bring in AMVs. I could talk about that shit for so long. That is my guilty that is my guilty boner.
There's this one that I'm watching right now called Hunter x Hunter, and there's this one fight between the hero and the main sort of villain. I don't want to call Hisoka the villain, and that's been taken and used as like the background in so many fucking rap AMVs. It's actually absurd. Like when the first time I actually watched it and I found out that scene doesn't have any music in the background, my mind was fucking blown because I was just so attuned to hearing like someone rapping to that fight.
Yeah, like tournament arcs are basically like, I know it's a weird comparison, but like investing in a tournament arc is like investing in professional wrestling because there's so much hammy drama that they've
narratively they're garbage.
Yeah,
but, like I love them so much.
Yeah. Oh my god. It's a chef's
no
kiss.
tournament arc has ever actually furthered the plot. Every tournament arc that like the underlying reason every tournament arc in anime exists is because usually the animators or the original manga writers were like, okay, I want to fill some space between this plot point and this plot point so that we can have some more development on these characters. So I'm just gonna chuck them in a stadium for a couple of chapters or a couple episodes and let them stew for a bit before the plot can continue. That's nothing plot happens. It's narrative gunk.
Yeah.
But I love it.
Yeah,
I love it so much.
There's so
it's
many
so good.
Yeah, there are so many like anime tropes that I could have easily just fit a whole I could have easily hosted a whole episode just talking about my favorite like anime guilty pleasures, like one of them being a beach scene, which
oh my god.
Yeah, the beach scene is one tsundere, as I had mentioned, or I had done as an honorable mention, but yeah, oh man,
there's a bunch of anime tropes that I really like, but I don't know. To me, none of them hold such a close, tight, beautiful point in my heart as tournament arcs. The second closest I will talk about later, but this is the one where I'm just like every time I see it, I am in heaven. I will watch all 20 episodes of these characters not furthering the plot, just punching each other, and I will love every second of it.
All right, while you sit there
and recover.
recover, yeah. I'll pass it off to Georgia. So, Georgia, what would your first pick be?
Okay, so maybe to relate it a little bit to your guys' favorite guilty pleasures. I would say it's like the bad boy trope. Maddie, you said that one of your favorite tropes was like the guy wearing black with the smoldering eyes.
Yeah.
And it's you kind of okay, so the movie I'm thinking of is called The Heathers, And so,
Oh my god, I love the Heathers.
oh, I'm glad you've seen it. Oh, it's good. So the bad boy, you kind of feel bad for him. He's kind of this weird freak, and you're like, oh, he's harmless. What could go wrong? And then he turns out to be like the school shooter.
Oh god. Oh god.
Oh my
Okay,
God,
that's a whole curve.
So
That's
it's when
like,
Winona Ryder and Christian Slater just have a battle it out, like they're hitting each other with fire extinguishers, and she's just, they're just beating each other up, like, and it's kind of unexpected for a movie like that because it's kind of like this sort of 16 Candles era type movie where you're just kind of not expecting like a sort of this like battle to go on between them. But there's a lot of blood in that movie. There's a lot of manhandling as well. There's a lot of gun shooting, and it's a great movie just because of the character that Christian Slater plays. Just this like weird freak that you kind of feel sorry for, and he's like, yeah, he doesn't turn out how he's expected to be, right?
Yeah.
So
I guess in a way, like a bad boy character.
Yeah.
Would that
basically.
be that? Yeah, that'd basically be.
But
it.
he's not a bad boy the whole time,
Yeah. Fair. Yeah, I'm saying like on that discussion actually. Yeah, I've both had an appreciation and a very honest distaste for bad boys lately. I think especially in storytelling, because it could either go one of two ways. It's either you got the bad boy that is very, very like charming with I guess he's very suave, I guess. Like he's got a lot of charisma. He's very he's charming but still kind of a dick in the sarcastic way. And I guess there's the other kind of bad boy where they're just a straight up asshole, and I don't understand why characters are appreciating him that much. Like right. I'm down. Like I am.
That's what you're saying. It's like kind of a cliche.
Yeah, like I am 100% down for like the suave, sarcastic dickhead as a thing, as a guilty pleasure. But like I can't fuck with like. I can't fuck with straight I can't fuck with just honest dicks at this point. Like there's just nothing there, dude. You're just gonna be an asshole to everybody. It's like it kind of connects to what my trope will be, like with what my other guilty pleasure will be eventually. But yeah, I can't deal with like, you're just being a dick because you're misunderstood or something. Like no, have some kind of charisma. Do we have like any notable bad boys that we do kind of have an affinity for?
Like, you mean nothing they can do is ever wrong?
I guess I was just gonna say, or I was just meant it more simply, just like, is there a bad boy character that we all kind of enjoy individually?
I'm probably gonna get some flack for this because I know like he basically joins Ninja ISIS, but Sasuke from Naruto.
Yeah, you are gonna get flamed for it. Fucking how dare you?
I don't know. I love him. He's great. I can't help it.
Georgia, how about you? Do you have another notable like bad boy character that you kind of like, or that you have some kind of affinity for?
Well, like who I like universally, Terminator. Arnold Schwarzenegger. No.
That's true. Yeah, he started off as like
he was a very bad boy in the first movie. I was about to say, would we qualify Zuko as like the sort of bad boy?
Zuko was going to be mine. He was definitely going to be my like.
I don't even know if we could like qualify Zuko as a bad boy. He's just kind of edgy.
Sure, yeah, edgy boys.
He's a sad boy, not a bad boy.
That's a whole other guilty pleasure. The
all
sad
right.
boy.
There's a very fine line.
Okay, let's reel it back in before we start gushing about Avatar again, because I know that's an inevitability. But anyway, Maddie, what would your first trope be?
I'm gonna go with geek to chic, and I specifically in my mind when I say that,
Still
you guys are
waiting
gonna
for
laugh.
that to happen to me.
Yeah, me too. I'm thinking of what not to wear, and I know that's just a TV series, but Stacey London, she's my idol. I just love her. And when all their clients go through that makeup scene where they go in and their hair kind of sucks and they don't wear makeup and they have glasses, and then they bring them out like after the commercial break and they have like this brand new face of makeup and like glowing hair and hot outfit. I'm like, I could watch only that on repeat and feel so content in my life.
Mm-hmm.
And an actual movie too is The Duff is a really popular one where it's kind of like, or not The Duff, sorry, no, I'm thinking of a different one. Shoot. But it happens so much. Like it's such a classic where it's always they take the glasses off and shake their hair out and now they're like this chic hot girl and he's like, I always knew you were beautiful.
Yeah. Oh man, you're so right though, because I can associate that one trope specifically to 80s, 90s movies, or like I think Disney movies specifically, like early 2000s Disney movies, because they're the same thing.
Oh, yeah.
And like
seriously, yeah.
You always have that one dorky character that like from the very beginning they're like, oh hey, they kind of suck.
Yeah,
they kind of suck in real life.
Protagonist?
Yeah, it's like they think like, you know, face full of acne, glasses, you know, like store-bought clothes and shit, and like store-bought, like, you know, thrifted clothes or like hand-me-down clothes or something. And I can't exactly pinpoint to a single movie, but like, yeah, eventually by the end of the movie, especially when there's a love interest introduced, it's like suddenly there's that. I can't remember for the life of me which specific movie it is, but like there's always that one scene like where they're all going to the prom or something. The best friend is waiting downstairs and then typically the girl is like upstairs. And then there's that whole thing where it's like the girl is walking down the stairs as the camera's following them and suddenly they're like stunning.
Yeah, sorry, go ahead, Gabe.
No, I'm dying over here. Because you said you couldn't think of a specific movie. I could think of a very specific movie, and it's killing me.
What movie is that?
Scooby-Doo 2.
Oh yeah. Oh my god, I forgot about it.
Out in like the latex suit.
Yeah. Oh my god.
And she's like, "Who's your mommy?" And you're like,
"Oh my god, dude!" It was in that moment. It was in that moment that if Velma were real, I would absolutely donate to her OnlyFans.
Yeah, me too. At this point,
I've had my face buried in my hands this whole time because the second you said geek to chic, it's like I don't know what it is with Scooby-Doo and me. Someone could just say anything tangentially related to Scooby-Doo and my brain fucking hardwires to a Scooby-Doo.
I love Scooby-Doo.
Yeah, oh my god, yeah. I don't want to entertain this tangent too much, but like Velma over Daphne, 100%.
Mm-hmm. I can't do it. I'm sorry.
No, you'd pick Daphne?
I'm gonna go with Daphne for the second guilty pleasure of the dumb hot girl. You know, there's always one.
Oh, okay. We can elaborate more on that later. Yeah, we can elaborate more on that later. But yeah,
that wasn't even in the list. But now that we're talking about it, I'm like, holy yeah, I can think of quite a few.
I don't know,
but, with the geek to chic too, I find that like kind of to take this out of even just like movies and literature and reality TV, but that's like a narrative you see all the time. Even when you're talking to your friend and like they just went through a breakup and they're like, I'm going to go get my revenge bod. It's like, it's something that's so integrated into our culture as just like a normal thing.
Yeah, well, it's because of those movies, right?
Yeah, and you have like such a soft spot for it.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. It's always like, after a bad breakup, it's like I'm gonna get stupid hot afterwards. Or there's that expectation, like, or not expectation, but like there's always that thing where it's like, oh man, I'd been fucked over so many times. Now I'm gonna like, now I'm going to get so unbelievably hot that
Yeah,
the
and
second
you're
my ex sees me, it's gonna be over. They're gonna be
and you
like,
just
damn.
know you're like, no, in your head, you're just like, I know that I need to root for them to just like psychologically grow up and like realize they're enough. But you gotta love it. You gotta love the physical glow up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's such a it's such a trope that like pretty much I think all of us grew up with.
Yeah,
Like-
well, the 2000s, I mean,
Thousands, totally.
Yeah.
yeah.
There weren't really any other kind of stories like, at the time.
Yeah, literally. I'm like, that's why Scooby-Doo was such a hit.
Oh man. Maybe that's another story that we could potentially do for a podcast episode. Just gush about the James Gunn movies.
Literally.
The incredible James Gunn.